All right, we've spent 9 parts digging into this invisible world of radio frequency interference, right? We've uncovered how it messes with everything from our Wi-Fi to public safety. So now, in our grand finale, we're going to flip the script. We're moving from the problem to the solution. It's time to talk about what we can actually do about all this.
And just as we dive into those solutions, let's remember the journey we've been on. This is, after all, part 10 of our 10-part tutorial, Invisible Interference, How Radio Frequency Interference Affects Your Everyday Life. It's a public awareness campaign by RFI detectives, and it's all based on research from Virtualization Options LLC, a technology research and education group out of Colorado. Our whole mission here has been to make this complicated topic make sense for everybody. Because, as we've seen, this problem can be anything from a minor annoyance to a real threat to our safety.
So, here's what we've got on tap today. We're going to do a quick recap of why this all matters so much. Then we'll zoom out to see who's managing our airwaves. After that, we'll look at how the tech itself is getting smarter, dive into a toolkit that you can actually use yourself, and then we'll wrap up with what might just be the most powerful tool we have: simple awareness.
Okay, so first, let's just quickly remember what's at stake here. As we've talked about, RFI isn't just about your Netflix video buffering or a call dropping. It can affect your home security, your ability to reach 911, and even the communications our first responders rely on.
This really gets to the heart of it all. The interference might be invisible, but the consequences, well, those are very real. When we say mildly frustrating, yeah, we mean a slow download. But when we say genuinely dangerous, we're talking about a smart lock that won't open, or a car key fob that gets jammed in a dark parking lot. And that is exactly why finding solutions is so incredibly important.
So how in the world do we manage all this? Well, a great way to think about the radio spectrum is like a giant, invisible highway system. It's a public resource we all share. And just like our actual roads, it needs rules, it needs management to prevent total and complete gridlock.
And that whole process has a name. It's called spectrum management. Basically, it's the rule book for our invisible highways. And here in the US, the main traffic cop, the one enforcing all those rules, is the Federal Communications Commission. The FCC.
And believe me, the FCC has been busy. What's so cool about this is you can see the concrete steps they're taking. Back in 2020, they opened up a whole new superhighway, the 6 GHz band, for Wi-Fi. This was a huge deal because it took a ton of pressure off the old crowded 2.4 and 5 GHz bands. They also have an enforcement bureau that literally hunts down interference problems and goes after people who use illegal signal jammers.
But regulation is only half the story. The tech industry itself is a massive part of the solution, building smarter and more resilient signals right from the get-go.
This comparison is just fantastic. Think about it. Older Wi-Fi is like a chaotic meeting room where everyone is shouting at once. It's a mess. Wi-Fi 6, though, is like a really good meeting moderator. It organizes the whole conversation, so lots of devices can talk at the same time without screaming over each other. It also has this really cool tech called beamforming, which is like a laser pointer for your Wi-Fi. It aims the signal right at your device instead of just spraying it everywhere. And with Wi-Fi 6E, it gets to use that brand new, wide-open 6 GHz highway we were just talking about.
Okay, so we've talked about the government, we've talked about the industry. Now let's bring it all home. What can you actually do? This whole next section is about giving you your own personal RFI toolkit.
So, what can you do? It really comes down to a simple 3-step plan. First, get to know your local environment. An app like Wi-Fi Analyzer can literally show you a map of the airwaves around you and which channels are super crowded. Second, upgrade strategically. You don't have to go out and replace everything at once, but investing in a modern router, especially for critical things like your security system, can make a world of difference. And third, if a problem just won't go away, report it. The FCC actually depends on us, the public, to help them find and fix these issues.
And here are some quick fixes you can do, like right now. If your router has it, switch your devices to the 5 or 6 GHz band. For your car, a simple Faraday pouch for your key fob can stop criminals from copying its signal. It's also a good idea to keep your cellular data on as a backup in case Wi-Fi calling ever fails you. And this one is crucial. Register your home address for E911 services. That helps first responders find you even if your call drops. See? These are all small, easy things that can really boost your own personal signal safety.
And all of this leads us to one final, really crucial point. All the tech, all the regulations in the world, they can only do so much. The real, long-term solution is built on a foundation of collective awareness.
I just want to pause on this quote for a second because it is the absolute heart of this entire series. The simple fact that most of us don't know about RFI, well, That's a problem in itself. When we don't understand the invisible infrastructure that we depend on every single second, we can't protect it. Closing this awareness gap is, in its own way, a form of public service.
So in the end, it all comes down to these three things. Awareness to understand the problem, which, hey, you now have. Action through all those simple steps we just talked about. And advocacy by sharing what you've learned and reporting problems when you find them. These three things, together, are the keys to keeping our shared wireless world healthy and working for all of us. So, as we wrap up not just this part, but our entire series, I want to leave you with this thought. Over 10 parts, we have worked to make the invisible visible. We've seen the silent traffic, the unseen collisions, and the very, very real consequences. The question isn't what is RFI anymore. The real question is, now that you can see it, what are you going to do to protect it?